Hello, my name is Jamie Ketcham. Today is February 23rd, 2025. I made a couple of videos earlier today, but I wanted to make one more video and just touch base on a few things, and hopefully somebody will be able to hear what I'm saying, and people need to know about some of this stuff so they know how to protect themselves, and they can possibly protect their families. But there's this thing called combatant war enemy in the United States. It's all over the world, but it's where the United States are doing counter-terrorism. That's how they combat the terrorism, the terrorist people and stuff. But it's called anybody can be labeled a terrorist and don't even know it. That's what happened to me. They called me some kind of like terrorist, a combatant war enemy, it's like being a terrorist, but you don't never go to trial. You're just detained, and you can be detained indefinitely without even going to trial. And it took me years to figure out some of this stuff, but if you ever want to look it up, if you need to look it up, anybody needs to look it up. It's called War on Terrorism, and detained combatant enemies. Detained combatant enemies. Just look that up, and all somebody has to say is that he's a violent terrorist. He was planning on doing something, or he had this, or I don't know how they say it, but they never come tell me anything. Nobody even gave me no paperwork, no warrants, no nothing. And then you are supposed to go to court to be able to challenge your detention, to challenge the evidence that they're saying that they say they have on you. But nobody even told me I had a charge, and they had court without me. They said that after I was framed, and then somebody went to court and said that I'm mentally ill, and then the judge ruled me incompetent to stand trial. So I've been detained for all these years and never knew it. And so you don't have to be detained in prison or in a federal prison or a state prison or a detention center. You can be detained in your own apartment by military operations and don't even know it. I know that sounds odd, and then you're like, how can that happen? I mean, how is that possible? It's happening. And then the military, they do, I'm just learning about some of this stuff myself, but it's called combatant war enemy, or U.S. citizen, detained U.S. citizens, detained U.S. citizen combatant war enemy. And nobody never gave me any information or anything. Now, on top of that, I'm also trying to get help because there's unethical human research going on, unethical human experimentation. Me and my son both were being exploited. They put brain implants in my brain, put nano camera implants directly inside my eyeballs, and they're doing all kinds of research and experimentation and stuff on me, and I never consented. I never consented to that. In my whole life, I didn't even know I had it. I had no idea I had it until, I'm 43 now. I was around mid-30s, somewhere in there, when I started figuring out that I've been implanted, and my son has been implanted too, and he's got brain implants that's deep inside his brain, cameras in his eyes, and all kinds of stuff, and I never consented for that. And my son has special needs. He has Down syndrome. He is not nobody to be experimenting on. He's not the candidate for that. He has low muscle tones. He's already had deformed growth in his legs and stuff because the implants are too heavy for his body. And his leg bone growth, and the doctors just did surgery on him a couple months ago, and they had to put screws in his legs, and just because where his legs wasn't growing right. He has all kinds of medical issues and stuff, and I tried to get help. I tried getting his medical records. I tried making complaints with the hospital that did the surgery. I know who did the surgery on him. They lied right to my face and said, we're just going to do a normal heart surgery on him. When he was 6 months old, they told me he had to have a life-saving heart surgery, and he needed to have it right away. But I didn't know it. This was 2013 in October. But what they did, they took him back there. He was in surgery for 9.5 hours, and they put all kind of experimental implant devices, these hazardous cameras and brain-computer interfaces deep in his brain, and all kinds of stuff. So he's being exploited. And I didn't know this for years. Like I said, I was in mid-30s and I just figured some of this stuff out. And I seen a camera in his eye, a gleam in his eye. And I looked in his eye and it's like it's a nano camera implant. And I tried calling, make complaints at the hospital. I tried contacting the Charleston Sheriff's Police Department where the county he had surgery in. I've tried contacting the police, the FBI, other law enforcement agencies, human trafficking agencies, all kind of stuff. But nobody won't even make a report. I can't get his medical records or anything. It's all being hidden and withheld from me. And same thing with me. They implanted me and I never knew it. The brain-computer interface has been around since like the 70s and the 80s, and nobody never knew it. There wasn't no laptops out. There wasn't no cell phones. There wasn't no internet. So nobody had any kind of idea that this was going on. I mean, who would have known? You got the technology coming out now. You can see where it's coming out in the public for like Neuralink and brain-computer interfaces and things like that. But this has been around since the 70s. And instead of somebody coming to me and saying, "Hey, Mr. Ketcham, would you like to consent to your implants? Or we messed up and we need to make it right. We need to get you healed so you don't get have any thing happen to you." They won't come say nothing to me. They act like nothing is wrong. They act like I don't even have implants, and they're relying on me being called mentally ill, because anybody that says they've been implanted with implants, if they tell a psychiatrist that they feel like they've been implanted without their consent, there's this book called the DSM-5. That's the diagnostic manual that psychiatrists use. And inside that manual says if a person says they feel like they've been implanted without consent, then they're delusional. And with this type of delusional, they need to be diagnosed with schizophrenia. And as soon as you get diagnosed with schizophrenia, they don't take the implants out of you. They act like you don't have no implants, and then you don't have none. You're just mentally ill. That's what they're saying. I'm mentally ill and I don't have implants. And that happens because law enforcement won't make a police report. The FBI, they won't make it. Any kind of law enforcement agency will not make no police report unless a medical doctor documents on record that you have foreign objects inside your body. Well, when I go to the hospital and stuff and get X-rays and MRIs and CAT scans, the doctors won't diagnose it. They won't diagnose it because who's ever doing the experimentation, who did the implants and stuff, they got complete authority over all of my health care. And I didn't consent to that either. They got so much authority, they can tell the doctor to misdiagnose me. They tell the doctor, do not tell that patient about the implants. Do not tell him that he's got anything wrong with him. Don't let him know nothing about that. So after I get my scans and stuff, the doctor come back in there and say, well, you're just having mild headaches or you're just having random headaches, something, but take these pills here or take this right here. And I've been to numerous amounts of hospitals. I mean, severe headaches. I mean, my eyeballs throb. They hurt from these camera implants. They're sore. I have to put eye drops in a lot, sometimes several times a day. My spine is hurt. My back hurts. My neck hurts. That I gotta stay in this wheelchair. I have to use a wheelchair now because my spine is so damaged. My hips are hurting bad. I get shocked all the time. I'm losing my eyesight. I mean, it's bad. And that's not even the worst part. Now I got a life-threatening heart condition. I got some kind of life-threatening heart condition. And then when I go to the hospital, they do tests and stuff on my heart. And that who's ever over my health care, I tell that doctor, tell Mr. Ketcham nothing's wrong with his heart. Tell him he's perfectly fine. I got something severely wrong with my heart, and I don't know what, but it's something very wrong. I have deep chest pains every day. My chest feels real tight. My heart hurts. It hurts, and it's real sore. It feels like something's pressing on it. Just last night, the ambulance had to come out here because I was having heart trouble and stuff, and I was passing out. I couldn't breathe. My heart was hurting. It's horrible. It's horrible, and it happens all the time, just about. And then when I go to the doctor or the hospital, they say nothing's wrong with your heart, Mr. Ketcham. We don't know what happened. There's nothing wrong with your heart, but that's because somebody's over my health care, and they're telling them to do that. So who's ever doing the human research and the implantation and stuff, They won't give me no paperwork, no information, no nothing saying that they're doing the implants, that they're doing the research. They act like they ain't done nothing. And then, so if they don't give me no information, and if the law enforcement won't make no police report, and if the doctors won't diagnose it, then I'm stuck in this cycle. It's like a human trafficking exploitation cycle. And me and my son are both stuck in it. And people tried to kill me. They put carbon monoxide in my vehicle. I've been shot at point blank range. They caught my house on fire. My house has been caught on fire before. The same wall I was sleeping on, all of a sudden just catches on fire. A miracle I got out of there. People's breaking in my house. I've been poisoned. Just a bunch of stuff, and it ain't stopping. It ain't stopping now. It's 2025, and it ain't stopping. So, so somebody's got control over my medical health care, and they're telling everybody that there's nothing wrong with me and that I'm just mentally ill. And it's not right. I can't get my son no help, and I can't get myself no help. So while all that unethical human research is going on, then I'm also being detained as a combatant war enemy. I was framed. I had no clue what happened. I got framed right after my son was implanted. That's when everything started picking up. That's when they put the carbon monoxide in my vehicle, and I totaled my truck and breaking into my house, and I couldn't figure out why was I being attacked like this. I mean, it was a heavy onslaught attack. And at the time, I didn't know I had implants in 2014. I didn't know that. And I started a new life with my family, my wife. We wasn't married at the time. We got married in 2014, but we was living together and stuff. And so I couldn't figure out. I started having my new son and wife, and I couldn't figure out why would somebody want to attack me. What's going on? And they come to find out, I believe they're trying to kill me because they want to exploit my son, and they know they implanted him without my consent. They kidnapped my son. He was kidnapped. If somebody tells you that your child needs to have surgery and it's a life or death kind of surgery and they needs to hurry up and have it, and you take your little 6-month-old little baby to Charleston, South Carolina to have this massive open heart surgery, and then they do a 9.5-hour surgery on him, and they don't tell you nothing about what they really did to him, and then several years later you find out he's got cameras in his eyeballs, got brain chips in his brain, implants inside his brain, all kinds of technology inside his body and stuff, and they don't nobody even tell you nothing. And then he's being exploited. He's being exploited, and I'm being exploited. I know all that sounds crazy, and probably 95% of the people won't believe what I'm telling you, but I promise you, I'm being truthful what I'm saying.
The only way you can believe it is you're on drugs.
Oh, my neck hurts bad. But so please, you need to be aware of this unethical human research stuff going on, because they won't give you no information. They won't say, okay, we made a mistake. Let's get you fixed. No, they said, well, how about this? We just won't tell you nothing, and we'll kidnap your son. We'll implant we'll booger him up, and then we'll just try to kill the dad. That's exactly what happened. I swear to God, that's exactly what's happening. And then they're acting like nothing's wrong. Nobody won't come forward any kind of paperwork to get us relief or nothing. And they're just waiting on me to die. They're waiting on me to die. They know my heart. They know I have a heart condition. They know I'm in a wheelchair. They know I'm on disability. They know I'm only 43 years old. And they just keep on with the stuff, man. They keep on with the stuff.
Don't forget to tell everybody that how you chased me and you threw my phone.
So it's just a bunch of stuff.
Down the back of the building.
So you got to watch out for the unlawful combatant war enemy, and then you got to watch out for the unethical human research. I don't want to scare nobody or nothing like that, but I mean, how many more children are out there that's been implanted without their parents' consent? I mean, that's ridiculous. They say it's happening, the same thing in Afghanistan, and the same thing that's happening in Nigeria. This commander named Commander Booker, he has access to my brain implant, and he's getting paid $20 million to kill me. And he said I'm a risk to his business because I try to write the FBI, and I try to DOJ, and then I try to get an investigation started, and it makes him hot. He said I make his business hot, and then I need to be quiet until he finishes killing me. And he says I'm not a real human. I'm just an experimental subject. He called me experimental freak, is what he calls us. He said us experimental freaks ain't real human beings, and we're just here to be experimented on. And I need to shut my mouth until he finishes killing me. and after he finished killing me, then he's gonna make a deal for my son. And he said, there's the people at Guantanamo Bay, the terrorists there. He said those are fake terrorists. They ain't even real terrorists there, and they're being experimented on, and they got fake war charges, and they can't even get a lawyer. They can't get out or nothing. And he said that 9/11. He said this was a design system from the 9/11 attack. George Bush. He said the George Bush administration and like the CIA and some other. He said they all got together and they planned the fake attack on 9/11. He said America did that. He said they did that, and then we blamed it on fake terrorists. And then George Bush made all these executive orders, and it signed all these where everybody can come together. Like the FBI can work with the Army now, the Navy can work with the DOJ, the Department of Defense can work with the police department. It's a one big unit now. It used to be separated. It used to not be departments used to be able to not contact other departments and share information and stuff. But now it's like a big human trafficking, human exploitation cycle, and you can't get out of it. It's a big cycle, and you can't get out of it. And it's been corruption, human trafficking, exploitation, fraud, kidnapping, torment, torture, discrimination, murder for hire, murder, massive. I wish I was wrong. But the way Commander Booker said, he said George Bush and the CIA and others planned that attack ourselves, and that America did the bombing, America did the attack, and then we blamed it on Afghanistan or the Middle East, and we went over there and ran their country, and they guinea pigged them. Commander Booker said they're doing the same kind of research and stuff over there in Afghanistan and Nigeria, and nobody can't do nothing about it. It's a big money ring. They make millions of dollars off this stuff, and nobody can't do nothing about it. The police can't help, the FBI can't help, the doctors can't help, because they got authority. They got authority over that person's health care. I don't know how they do it. They lie, they make fraudulent records, they set you up, they put incriminating evidence in your possession, they have court without you. They deny you your rights, your due process, and then they don't give you no information, no kind of records, no kind of warrant, no kind of paperwork, no kind of consent form, no kind of application, no kind of nothing. You don't get nothing. And then my body's been damaged. I possibly could die any day, and I'm praying to God. I pray all the time, and I know God's got me alive, and He kept me alive this long for a reason. And I've been through hell. I mean hell, but I really just want the authorities to know, to catch on to what's going on, because I don't want nobody else's child or no other family to go through what me and my son are going through. And I want to get my son rescued before I die. I just like to at least get him to safety before I die. I'm tired of feeling like this, tormented all the time. I can't never get no relief. But anyways, I know that all that sounds like it's a bunch of bogus, but I promise you I'm 100% accurate. My name is Jamie Ketcham. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, and I love my state. I love my country. I love my city. I love everybody. I'm not no enemy combated psycho-terrorist war enemy. That's what they said I am. That's what they said I am. There has to be some kind of more lies. I haven't seen that because I can't get no paperwork. But I did write the U.S. courts, U.S. courts of appeals and stuff. I put a habeas corpus petition in, and I just learned about that. Well, anyways, that's it, y'all. And I hope this helps somebody out and lets everybody know to keep your eye out and stuff, and maybe it'll help somebody. All right, pray for me. Pray for my family. Thanks, and God bless.